Woo! What is up, everybody, in the wonderful world of social media? Now, today, what's Big Willie going to rant about? Marijuana. Tennessee is voting today to pass a bill to make marijuana recreational, put a 15% sales tax on it, and use that sales tax to fill in potholes. For some reason they don't have money through other taxes. But hey, that's a way to legalize it. I mean, don't legalize it because the cotton industry bribed politicians, I don't know the exact date, back when, to make it illegal because hemp was a better textile than cotton was. And it was cheaper and easier to grow. And so they bribed politicians and paid to have them lobby to make it illegal, which they had to make marijuana illegal to wrap up hemp. Bam! That's how it became illegal. And I ain't even going to bring up that was the majority of it. The little part was a bunch of racist white men, and it was all about Hispanics. You got to look that stuff up. You know what I'm saying? But really what gets me is if you used to Google it, and everybody's like, you trust Google? Well, look, that's just what we're rolling with today because it really doesn't matter because everything else is going to say the same thing Google does because it's all the same shit. So basically, they're going to tell you that. They're going to say marijuana was outlawed because the cotton industry paid the politicians to lobby. Well, isn't that bribery? And isn't that against the law? And then our government's still withholding, they're backing these laws and they've been prosecuting people over it for so long. And, we get a little biblical, as the history will be. A lot of historians think it was in the anointing oil. They have in 2020 in a Hebrew temple found cannabis where they were burning it for, rituals and stuff. And it makes sense because it is the one plant that God created that man doesn't have to alter in any way and use it as a medicine. And it's been a medicine forever. Through this whole history, villages used to use it for currency to trade out medicine for other things. It's all through history has been known. And now the federal government is talking about rescheduling it to a Schedule 3 narcotic. You know what Schedule 3 means? That the only thing it has, they can't prove it's harmful, is that it's psychologically addictive. That means that if you're psychologically addicted to weed or anything, that means you have addictive behavior. That means your addiction could go towards chocolate. Your addiction could go towards exercise. It could go towards pornography. It could go towards yard work. It could go towards making money. It's whatever you feed that addictive behavior with. It's a hyper-focused behavior. And to say that, they just won't let it go. The government has this real hard thing about letting it go. And if you notice, nothing ever goes up and comes down except for gas. I mean, the oil on the shelf in the freaking, the motor oil on the shelf at AutoZone never changes its price like gas does. It doesn't go up and down, up and down, up and down every week. You don't buy a quart of oil this week for $8 and $6 next week. But anyway, we're not on that. We're on marijuana. So basically, it's just like, how can we be a society of intelligent people when we're still supporting laws made by racist and ignorant men? That we're bribing politicians to keep us away from medicine and because they wanted a worse textile. Do you even know how much it takes for cotton? Like the shit you got to do to spray for cotton and all that, and how much stronger hemp is. And better. I mean, all the ship ropes used to be hemp. They dig up bodies from thousands of years ago, and the hemp clothes are still on them. They're still good. So, but my main thing is it's medicine for so many people. With me, it helps with my ADHD. It's the mood saver, so I don't have to take Vyvanse or Adderall anymore. I have arthritis in my hip. It helps with that. I was supposed to go to pain clinic for my back. I don't do that because the last thing I want to do is have the government put me on fucking Lortabs and Percocets or whatever. And then it's appetite for people. There's so many people that suffer with cancer. And look, I've met so many older people because I'm open about marijuana, its uses. And every time I meet someone with cancer, I talk to them about it. And all of them, There are even doctors now are telling them if they can find somebody that has some marijuana, go get it. But these doctors can't get public with it because the federal government start pulling their license and shit for speaking out. So the only people that have, and then we can get to the criminal system since we said that. How much money are they spending on arresting people for marijuana? And then all that energy could be put on fentanyl, crystal meth, the things that are really destroying American people. The only thing that destroys American people with marijuana is when you fucking arrest them for it. Especially like the people that get arrested for sitting at their house and haven't done anything. The only crimes they've ever committed on their whole record is marijuana. So they wouldn't even be a criminal if it wasn't for someone bribing the lobbyists back when they made marijuana illegal. And then the intelligent men that went to college and are passing the laws and judging the laws and arresting the people all say, well, you know what? It's the law. That's the worst thing you could ever say to America. That's why us as Americans are losing faith in people, because our government and everything is because know that things should be changed and you're refusing to do it. And then your cop out to us, well, that's the rules. Well, you know, if it's a rule that's made 100 years ago and it's harming more than it's helping, and it has harmed more people than it's helped because it's denied so many people of medicine and put so many people, there's so many people addicted to pain pills and shit that could have done marijuana and would not have been addicted. So that might fall into those people that, you know, the little documentary about the Oxycontins and shit that knew about what was going on, that they lobbied with, you know, they pay politicians and all that shit. It's all coming together, people. So basically, I just want to know when. When are our politicians actually going to do shit for us? When are the judges going to say, hey, these laws are causing more harm than they are good. I can't keep punishing all these people. They have the right to say no. That's why they're a judge. A judge judges what should be done and what shouldn't. These are the laws that say we can do, but you make your decision of whether this person deserves this or not. But if this person's going to make this administration show that, hey, you know, if we arrest, you know, all these people with marijuana, and then when we ask for money from the government, these arrests show that that we're doing our job, but you're not really saving the people. You know, if you took all that effort and put it in fentanyl and heroin and meth and all that shit, the shit that's really fucking killing people, man, you might do some real fucking good. You could put all that focus on that instead of focusing on people that are just trying to have a medicine. And then you can regulate it just like alcohol. You know, alcohol is physically addictive, psychologically addictive, and you can ride around all day long and get drunk and have guns in your car, but God forbid you're sitting at home and smoking some weed and you got guns in your gun cabinet locked up in a fucking safe. They're going to take every one of them. Now, how is that? How they take your weapons for a medicine that is even in the Bible, because in the Bible it says all seed-bearing plants are made for us to use. So you don't think that God might have created a plant for us to have as medicine? I mean, there's a lot of other healthy plants out there that we use as medicine, but they don't have the textile properties that hemp did with the fibers and stuff. So when? I mean, this is why I don't vote and shit anymore. This is why I'm not in the two-party system. It's all a fucking joke, y'all. It really is. And the thing is everybody gets on here and is like, you know, Dems this, Republican, liberal. Y'all are so fast to argue over little groups. Like, y'all refuse to see that the people running this country have you all pitted against each other. You refuse it, no matter what. Because I got people that like they'll tell you, like, if I say something about Hillary Clinton, they will not believe it. They will not believe it. If Hillary said she did it, they'd say, Hillary, no, you didn't. No, you wouldn't have done that. I don't believe you would have done that. You didn't do it. And that's scary. Because people, look, I don't care who you like. If my own fucking father did some crazy, whacked out child molester or some, you know, any of that real shit, I would turn that motherfucker in. He would never be my dad no more. I don't care. Your fucking people you like and your heroes aren't supposed to do bad things. And just because you voted for them because you didn't know, that doesn't mean anything on you. It's what you don't do once you find out that says on your character. It's the things that when your president's accused of stuff that you refuse to go research and see is true. You just want to believe that he couldn't do it, and then you want to call people names because they did research and they maybe say, hey, I can't say he did it, but you might ought to go look at this shit over here because it sure sounds familiar. It's happened over a 20-year period. And you know what I'm saying? It makes you kind of think, hey, I don't think I'd want him around my fucking daughter, ever. There's no fucking way. There's not. And if you're a parent, you're a father, and you see that, and you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on. Where y'all at? How can y'all blindly just follow some man that's been accused? I mean, people. I'm not just talking about Trump. I'm talking about all these government folks. Even that Massey, all of them. And look, anybody that has seen them files, has seen any email with any name on it, like I said, and didn't quit their job to tell the world, then they're protecting. It don't matter. That's just like if I see my neighbor doing some shit in his backyard with a little kid, and I'd be like, that ain't my problem. Turn my head. I'm just as fucking guilty in the eyes of everybody. So, with that being said, I just want to get back to the Bay Jane. They're voting today to legalize it recreational to fix potholes in Memphis. But it's like everybody else tells me, I mean, that's what your income taxes are for. Dun, dun, dun. No, it's not. Because that's something else that y'all refuse to look up because you're scared of your government. You say you'll stand up to your government and you want your guns for tyranny, but you won't stand up to your government. Because if you was to look up some of this stuff that I'm showing you, you'd probably be madder than I am. But you refuse to. But you'll get on here and tell me I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I just want to get on here and say, a bunch of... Now, I'm not, saying, especially with the redheaded bandit, that everything I'm saying is true, but it's I'm really good at looking at patterns, and people that... Most people, they'll make the same mistakes over and over. They'll repeat, because people do get in pattern form when they do things, no matter what. How their attitudes, how they act, things they say, the way they react to people, how they handle things, little things, just little things that people with a brain like me see that shit. That's why I'm great at puzzles and shit, because I can see, but anyway. So, it's time that we start venting our government. The only one way we can do it is through voting and taxes. The only power that we have is with our money. We hold our taxes and say, hey, we need some arrest on these Epstein files. You can't say it didn't happen, it did. It's out there. DOG's got stuff. Just because Trump says that, and that was my thing. Is when Trump said that it was a scam to try to discredit him and we should talk about something else besides, like, health care. Where's the health care? Where's the Trump plan, y'all? Because last I checked, my marketplace insurance went up to $700 at the beginning of the year, which I can't afford anymore. And I Googled the Trump care plan, and it ain't out there nowhere. There ain't a damn thing that says nothing about it. The only person that said anything about it was Trump when he was on TV. Why? Because that's what we wanted to hear. So, let's see what he says in Memphis today. But hopefully, the politicians to be in Tennessee will vote on the legalization of recreational to fix potholes. But damn, we got to worry about the liquor industry lobbying against it. Because Kentucky and Tennessee, if you notice, we're all surrounded by legal and medical and recreation states, but not Tennessee and Kentucky. Why is that? Is that where most of the whiskey's made? And they're lobbying and bribing politicians to vote against it because they're giving them money for their campaigns, which I call that bribery. It's not a donation, it's a bribe. And it stays illegal here because guess what? Statistically, y'all, less people are drinking alcohol now than ever before. And I wonder why. Maybe because they're trying to choose to do something that's a little bit safer and actually has some medical benefits, rather than use something that does nothing but destroy lives and homes and careers and a lot of other things. So with that being said, no matter what happens today, when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, we have to make a decision on whether or not we allow our government to continue running the way it is. Just because you're going to go, if you think this next election, y'all have got to get off this Democrat, this Republican shit, this liberal shit. You are nothing but human beings that live in America. You should all be judged on your character and your individualism. When you go to a freaking job and you apply for the job, you don't bring your political party with you. Nobody. And that's what these guys are doing. They're applying for a job, okay? A job to help with the country. And they all come out making way more money than their freaking paychecks pay. That's discouraging. And then the whole thing is, it's a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, your political parties don't do nothing but divide. It's the red team and the blue team, and we're the people in the middle. So, get out there, start thinking, start waking up, and just take the time to start looking at some stuff and start getting upset. It's okay. Because if we don't fix our government and you want to sit on your ass right now and do nothing and say it's not my problem, well, what about your kids and your grandkids? Do you not care about their future? We're just like, fuck it, let them fix it. I mean, that's pretty sad. Damn, I just dropped the F-bomb. But anyway, that's it for today. That's all I want to say. Hopefully they'll make it, recreational and I can get my medicine back and I'm not hurting as bad and my mind's not racing as bad as it was, and thank God I'm 50 now. So, but anyway, peace, love, y'all have a great day, and if nobody loves you, Big Willie does. Bye.